Interviews with business owners and veteran executives who share their wisdom and expertise to help you de-stress, free up time, and make more money. Profits of IT. Welcome back to the Profits of IT. Profits of IT is here to help IT business owners and executives save time, reduce stress, save money, and or make more money. I'm Jim Punzenberger. I am the founder of Neutron Solutions and the creator of the Managed Prospecting System. The Managed Prospecting System allows IT businesses to generate leads and sales opportunities without cold calling or ad spend. Today I have Paul with me on the podcast. Paul, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business or businesses?
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me over. I'm Paul Solano. I'm originally from Costa Rica. Moved over here to the US about 5 years ago, and been in the technology space since I was like 13 years old. Always in the technology space, from development to pretty much every corner of the technology space I've explored, both as an independent consultant, as a manager, and a while ago I was actually managing a large consulting practice, uh, and taking care of customers around all over Americas in general, right? Um, Again, broad experience. I have had the opportunity and the fun of learning a bit about pretty much every single aspects of this industry in multiple spaces and industries in the marketplace, and lately here in the US, a lot in the oil and gas industry as well, manufacturing, you name it, right? And that is what has helped me develop multiple initiatives and learn a lot through those processes as well.
Got it. Okay. And what's an interesting fact about yourself outside of business?
Well, I'm the father of two beautiful girls. I am happily married for 18 plus years. I really enjoy family time and church, and that's what I would say is I spend most of my time when I'm not working, which is the other 12 hours of the day essentially.
Yep.
A lot, but I try to put as much time as possible into family and church. And that's been actually a reason I moved over here to the US, because I used to travel too much back where I was living in Costa Rica.
Uh-huh.
I was traveling every week, and at certain point in my career, I realized that I was not giving any significant time to family or church, and I wanted to go back to the things that I loved, and that's what pushed me in the direction of quitting my former employer and starting my own business and trying to regain control of my life.
Well, that's great that you're now as you realized that you weren't a misalignment in your life, and that you're able to now realign your life and focus on those things that are important to you, your family, and to your faith. Um, so, what would you say is your superpower when it comes to business? And what can others learn from your superpower in business?
It's an interesting concept of a superpower. I would say you got to be persistent in whatever you pursue, and persistency and being consistent and persistent in your goals is key in whatever you go into, particularly in the business space. It is so easy to jump from one thing to the other and to abandon initiatives right, I mean, halfway through, because things get tough. I mean, let's not even talk about the pandemics in general, and even without extraordinary external scenarios like last year's.
Right?
there's always a big challenge when you jump into any initiative, um, to get it off the ground and make it fly, and consistency in what are your values and what are the value that whatever you're doing is providing the industry is key to success. But that has to be uh, always hand in hand with flexibility, or the ability to adapt to or and change. So you can be very persistent on pursuing a goal, yet you need to constantly question yourself on whether, am I pursuing the right thing? Is this the right thing to do now, or has the conditions changed, right?
Mhm.
And times, and again, success is always only the thing that people see. Really, there are like multiple failures before success actually comes along, right?
Yes.
And learning through those failures and adjusting constantly and seeking new areas and exploring new things with that, keeping that clear vision of what you think you can provide that is unique to the market is key to any endeavor. I've done many things in many projects that I've been developed. I have failed multiple times, and yet I'm still here trying to figure out what else is new and what is interesting in the marketplace that I can position in a way that can help people. Right? That's key. And I would say the other thing is people need to trust people. It's not about the product. It's not about the marketing. It's not about the branding. I mean, you can do all of that, and at the end, that may drive you one deal, but it will not create consistent business revenue. It is through high quality of deliverables and trust that you continuously keep on selling, right? So I in
Uh-huh.
my list has always worked. I say I actually do little in terms of pursuing more and more business. It's always been more kind of an organic thing where my clients recommend me to other people because they're happy. And so I focus a lot on making sure that I create the right relationships of trust and value with my customers to ensure that continues. Right now, that is true for my line of business. If I'm selling shoes, I may not be doing that. I will be focused more on on selling. Right. So it depends on the nature of the business.
Uh-huh.
In the technology and the business consulting space,
Services.
trust is critical, right?
Yes, it is. So do you have any tips on how to develop trust with prospects and clients?
Yes, and it is very important. That is a technique. Actually, you need to learn how to work that. So the very first thing I always tell people, and if you haven't done it, go through a public speaking process. I mean, you got to learn how to talk, because at the end, and this is what I tell everybody, I've been doing public presentations and sales for pretty much all of my life, professional life. People don't buy whatever you're saying, people buy what you believe in. So if you believe in whatever you're saying, they will believe that that is good, right? At the end, you gotta make the other person feel that you will like that you're selling or that you're providing, right? And that whatever you're telling them is truly good to you first, and so it will be good for them, right? Because that's how relationships work. I mean, at the end, if I can't trust that you're telling me something that is good, and for it to be good, you got to feel that person thinks is good, right?
Yes.
That's fundamental when you're talking to other person, to whoever. And it doesn't have to be on the business space. Whenever you talk about anything, if people don't feel that whatever you're saying is valuable to you, they will never assume that it will be valuable to them,
So
right?
it starts with making it valuable to you, and then if once it, you have to It sounds like you need to believe in it first yourself before you can get others to believe in it.
Correct, or at least be good enough on faking it is the case, because I mean, in many cases, you are required or you're expected to sell something. You may not be like, oh, I will do this for sure. I love this thing, right? I mean, it may be that you say, yeah, it's a good solution. It may not be the top of notch, but the top notch of everything. But you got to project that trust. You got to project that you love
Uh-huh.
whatever you're selling to the point that the other person is gonna want it, right? And it goes along with the how there's so many. It's a passionate thing. You need to People need to feel that you're really passionate about what you're saying, telling, or doing, right?
Hmm.
So that they can trust you. The second tip, and this is so important, is people don't expect anybody to know everything and to be able to answer.
Right.
And there is nothing that destroys trust more than somebody than being caught on a lie, or trying to simulate that you know something, right? So it is okay to say I don't know. It is okay to say let me figure this out, I'll figure it out for you. It is okay to sometimes be weak in that respect, because then people can relate to you. Oh, he doesn't know either. I mean, we share that. I mean, you share things with the other person. Not necessarily you got to project that I'm strong, I know everything, I can do everything, right? Which is not true ever, right?
Right.
So and though you always try to, and there is a saying that is fake it until you make it, right? I mean, you always say, oh yeah, of course we can do that. Yeah, of course you can do it, but you got to be honest and say, hey, we haven't done this before. I'm pretty sure we can handle it. Let us look into it, and we'll figure it out, right?
Uh-huh.
You're going to appreciate that more than if you just say, oh yeah, of course, that's so easy, and you don't deliver, right? So
Right.
so it is always a matter of setting the expectation. So if you set the expectation correctly, you will expect some people to react correctly, because that's the expectation you set. But if you start setting these crazy expectations, oh, I'm gonna give you all of this for this little money, or I'm gonna do this wonderful thing out of thin air, right? Which is completely impossible just because you want to sell. Sooner or later, you'll destroy the trust, and that's it. I mean, you don't have a business, right?
Right. Yeah. Trust is very important. So, is there any other keys to gaining that trust? What is there? Um, you know, some specific language that they can use, or uh, how do, how can how can people go about gaining more trust?
So the other practice, and again, there are multiple amazing books on this topic that I mean, anybody can read out there. And again, as you build on a relationship, I mean, you need to start treating the person as a person and not just as a customer, right?
Hmm.
So it is good to always approach the conversation on how have you been doing? How's your family? Are you fine, right? And create that space where you start sharing the things that they care about. as how do I say, they need to feel that you care for them, and
Uh-huh.
and and not only on the business space, but also the personal space. And let's say let's talk, let's leave the personal state space apart, just on the business space. If I'm talking to a customer that I already know, I need to start relating to their problems and their pains, and I need to start talking to them about, hey, I know this is tough, right? I've been seeing that you're struggling with this. Maybe we can help you out. There is something I can do, right? Those type of things, those type of conversation that doesn't necessarily lead into a sale, are critical for building trust that eventually will lead into something else, right?
Hmm.
But you got to, I mean, there's nothing worse than somebody that just comes into your door trying to push a product down your throat, right? So
Right.
people need to feel that. And the moment they start feeling that you care about them truly, that you started, that you, whatever, that their personal and business problems become your problems, then you're in, because now you're one of us. You're not selling, you're helping.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Got it.
That
So
the whole
start the
conversation.
relationship. Uh, you have to care about them on a personal level, not just a business level. And then the business relationship goes from that after you have the personal relationship also.
Now, and just be clear, this is all works only if you actually deliver, right? So if you, if you don't
Yeah.
deliver what you want to deliver, then there's no mean on doing any of this. I mean, you can fake it all the way until you actually deliver. And there are many people that make a living out of tricking people into trusting them, and but eventually it goes away when people realize that they don't deliver, right? So you got to deliver.
Yes.
But in order to have that opportunity, building trust, building a relationship, and cultivating on that relationship is critical to everything else.
Got it. All right. Well, this has been really interesting conversation. Um, like, do we have any other tips before we wrap up here?
I mean, we could talk for hours. I've learned so much on my many mistakes doing things. I would love to talk about entrepreneurship and how to not mess up as many times I have done, but that could be for another longer conversation eventually.
All right. So I guess we'll have to save that for another day here. So thank you, Paul, for your time. If anybody wants to reach out to you, have any questions for you, how would they do that?
That would be at my email pod, paul@4econsulting.com with the number
Please-
4e, as in Edward, consulting.com. And please feel free to contact us. I'll be happy to give you guys a hand.
Great. And thank you for your time here. This once again, I'm Jim Punzenberger with Neutron Solutions, and my managed prospecting system is here to help you generate leads and appointments without cold calling. Check out managedprospectingsystem.com. And again, until next time, thank you and bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Profits of IT. Please smash that like button, subscribe, and share.